What's up everybody, I am the Mangoose, you are awesome, and it's time for another Call to Arms, where I try to identify some of the problems with Paragon that can be fixed by Core and Predecessor. As you can tell already, today I'm going to be talking about Crunch. Now, I don't think there was anything wrong with the Crunch most of us know and love, however, most of us don't remember his release on the Legacy map. Crunch was designed for play in the Monolith version of the game, however, due to Epic really cornering themselves with the whole hashtag every 3 weeks thing, he was released for play on the Legacy map. It's generally agreed that Crunch was a bit lackluster hero upon his initial release. I had, or at least I remember having, a great deal of personal success with Crunch in Legacy. In fact, I specifically remember a game where the enemy team had a Countess, and every time she tried to ult, I had the old shut the fuck uppercut primed and ready for her. However, I'm not so conceited to think that I had him figured out and everybody else just sucked. No, I just got lucky enough to play him during a time where my skill level was a bit above my elo. Crunch was not as good on Legacy as he was on Monolith, and there's evidence to back that up. This is a problem because both Core and Predecessor are going for a more Legacy feel for their game. I would hate to see one of my favorite heroes neglected in the process of bringing Paragon back, so let's talk about why Crunch was better on Monolith and how he can be adjusted to fit the Legacy model better. The main thing, in my opinion, that made Crunch worse on Legacy was his passive. If you don't remember, Crunch's basic attacks would lower the cooldowns on his abilities. The CD reduction assigned to him was tuned for Monolith, where movement and attack speed was faster. He simply didn't punch as fast on Legacy and therefore received less cooldown reduction. You could somewhat get around this via animation canceling or building attack speed, but again, if your base attack speed is higher in one version than the other, then the higher attack speed version will just always be better. Also, I don't particularly like to build attack speed on Crunch. That's more of a personal note, but anyway, this seems like a fairly simple fix. Just increase the amount of cooldown reduction Crunch receives per hit. That way he can still be effective while actually hitting people less. The next one is small and very much arguable. I think Crunch was a more effective jungler in Monolith because he had fast clear times that allowed him to clear out, like, he could clear a 5-stack out almost as fast as killing a single minion. With Legacy only having like 2 minions per white camp, he really didn't have a chance to shine above the other picks in that role. Towards the end, the jungle camp switched up to the 3 stacks and Crunch was still just as effective, so I may be a little off on this one. I think Core having the ability to stack camps will benefit Crunch's quick clear time, so even if this is a problem, they've already got that somewhat addressed. Predecessor had the Legacy standard 2 jungle minions per camp during the closed alpha, but I guess that could change. In any case, I don't think this is a huge problem, it's just something I thought of and wanted to address. Speaking of things I thought of while making this video, one reason I came up with as to why Crunch was better on Monolith was the smaller lanes allowing you to make better use of Crunch's big AoE left crunch. This is just dumb though. The more I thought about this one, the more I realized that A, Legacy also had some pretty narrow passages in the jungle, and B, you really don't catch more than one person with a left crunch all that often anyway. Left crunch was there for clearing minions and finishing off a big right crunch, left crunch, re-crunch combo for max damage on a single target usually. It was pretty awesome to catch multiple people with it around like a map objective, but it's not something you relied on and it's not something particular to the Monolith map. Those are the reasons I could think as to why Crunch wasn't as good on Legacy. If you guys could think of anything else, please let me know in the comments. This is a topic that I think can be applied to other heroes as well. I believe Terra, Drongo, and Wukong will actually function better in Legacy. Crunch is about the only one where I think moving back will hurt him, but there could be others, and Metabuff and Omega Studios need to be cognizant of that. Let me know if there are any hero kits that you think will suffer from moving back to the Legacy style gameplay. For now, this is the Mangoose signing off. You guys have a good one. Mangoose!